Hey everyone, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight, we're going to go to the great state of Indiana, and we're going to talk to Mr. Terry McWilliams. Terry got a top 5 finish last year at the BFL Hoosier Division tournament on Rough River. So we're very excited to talk to Terry. I believe it's the Rough River. Could be the Rough or the Rogue. Not really sure how it's pronounced, but we're going to talk to Terry tonight. He's going to talk to us about his tournament last year and give us all the rundown of how he finished in the top 5. Terry is a very phenomenal angler. He's qualified for the Bassmaster Classic. He's got a great career as a professional angler. So he's also really known. If you've ever heard of the Stupid Tube rig, Terry is the guy behind that. So if you've ever heard of the Stupid Tube, you've heard of Terry. He's won a lot of money doing that technique. So before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are doing a $2,500 giveaway package. That lucky angler will be selected at the end of the year. To enter that giveaway, all you have to do is look at the banner right scrolling below right here. So it's going to point to a link right down in the description of this video. Click that link. Make sure you type in all your information. It only takes 2 seconds to enter, and then you will be entered into that giveaway. And again, that lucky angler will win $2,500 from Revital Outdoors at the end of the year. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. Our products are really, really great at helping outdoor enthusiasts like ourselves with all the different elements out there on the water or in the field. So if you have back trouble, aches and sorenesses throughout your body, trouble sleeping at night, anxiety, joint problems, that's what CBD is really, really good for. It's what our products were designed to help outdoor enthusiasts overcome so they can stay out on the water or in the field. Check us out on our website. You can purchase our products directly off our website. That's www.revitaloutdoors.com. And remember, our products are made right here in the United States and 100% THC free. That being said, let's go ahead and get right into this podcast. Mr. Terry McWilliams, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing just fine.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Well, last year looks like top 5 finish with Rogue River. You've got a lot of great success there at the Rogue River. I've never actually heard of the Rogue River, so tell us a little bit about the fishery and why is it so special to you?
Well, I think it's spelled Rogue River, but everybody in Indiana calls it Rough River.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure the proper pronunciation of it. I did have a top 5 finish there last year, but it was actually the first time I'd ever fished the Rough River.
Okay.
So, it's like a lot of fishing. I believe that I had a little bit of a luck factor involved. I didn't have a great practice. The Rough River is, I don't know if you said you haven't been there, but it is a beautiful, one of the prettiest fisheries that I have fished in, and I fished all over the country. But it's just got a lot of beautiful scenery, a lot of bluff walls, winding river. It's an awesome place to fish.
Okay. So, well, tell us a little bit about your tournament last year. Top 5 finish. I predict with you guys having a very cold winter, being a little bit northern in the United States, that you're probably going to be catching fish that are pre-spawning.
Well, things this spring has been a little different spring. I mean, we had a little bit of warm weather. Water started warming up. I felt like up here in Indiana, because I'm actually about 200 miles north of the Rough River. So I'm not familiar with that area down there. But around here, the weather started warming up. The water started warming. The fish started moving to the bank, and boom, we started having cold weather again. I actually had 2 inches of snow at my house this morning. Supposed to practice for a tournament that I've got Wednesday, a seniors tournament. And I didn't even get out because the high was 41 degrees. But I guess is what I'm saying is they're talking about possibly 80, 81 degree temperature this weekend coming up. And so the week after next, the Rough River tournament, I believe they're going to be on the bank. I didn't, in my practice at the Rough River a year ago when I finished 5th, I didn't really find any fish pre-fishing on the bank. I found some fish, but they was scattered here and there. And I basically just found a little stretch of bank in a little pocket that, I never seen no fish, but just the way the fish were acting, they were very territorial. It wasn't like they were feeding. It was more like they was trying to get my bait out of there because, I'd feel some bites I wouldn't feel. It was just, it felt like a very early spawn's what it felt like to me. I mean, they
Okay.
just had moved up. I caught all my fish out of probably a 50-yard stretch. And I had, before I got to that area, I think I had 3 fish already, but they were all 3. My 3 keepers were Kentuckies, and they were 12 inchers. And I ended up culling all my Kentuckies out and filling my limit with the largemouth. So.
Okay. Okay. Are you fishing, how does, breaking down the rough river a little bit, how does it fish? Are you fishing the main river? Are you going back up into pockets in creeks or flipping wood or?
Yeah, I was flipping wood. And I was just in a shallow pocket off the main river in a bay, and basically a side pocket on a small bay. I looked in the backs of the bays and normally where they would come up and go back to spawn. Didn't find any fish back there. But these fish were basically close to the main river, but in a small pocket within 100 yards of the main river channel. So I think it's like say they just, I'm positive them fish weren't there the day before because I fished the same kind of areas and never got any bites at all. And this isn't a commercial. That ain't what you called me for. But one of the things I can say is that all my fish were caught on a Secret Lure stupid tube,
Mm-hmm.
and at least 3 of the top 5 co-anglers are on Secret Lure's pro staff and caught them on stupid tubes. And that lake really fishes a stupid tube well because it has a lot of rock, and the stupid tube really comes to life the best in the rocks because of the crawdad imitation. But so,
Absolutely.
I mean, I caught every one of my fish, and I think except for the first one of the spots that I culled, because I started out actually Carolina rigging a long point, and I had two of my spotted bass on a Carolina rig, and then I went to the bank and was skipping and flipping my tube. So.
Okay. Okay. So you like a 4-inch tube or a 3-inch tube?
Neither one. I use a 3.7.
3.7. Okay. Well, that's a happy medium. So that's really interesting. So this time of year, let's say a guy doesn't want to relate to wood, doesn't like to flip, doesn't like to pick up that flipping stick. Not sure entirely why they wouldn't want to do that. One of the best techniques out there. Let's say they want to throw reaction baits. What's something that they can throw on the rough river this time of year where they're going to get a reaction bite?
All that the spring ding spinnerbait ought to be a killer. I mean, just right now, that's what they should be doing. That's what I fished in practice. That and a shad wrap or crankbait one just going down the bank, because they should have been, in my opinion, what I was trying to find when I practiced the 2 days of practice was trying to find pre-spawn fish, and not catching the pre-spawn fish. I don't know whether it was in the wrong locations or they had already moved shallower and I just couldn't see them.
Okay.
And
okay.
Because of all the rain we had prior to, the water wasn't real clear. I would just assume that most of the time Rough River is pretty clear just because of all the rock that has in it. So.
Okay. So I got you. Are you catching predominantly largemouth or smallmouth? I know that's kind of a dumb question, but what are you catching up there?
Well, at Rough River, what I caught both, but I got lucky enough to cull out all my spotted bass because they were smaller. I mean, that's the other thing down there. It's the spotted bass are 12-inch limit, and the largemouth are 14-inch limits. In fact, if I remember right, they may be I don't know. I'm not going to say, but it may be in a 15-inch limit on the largemouth. But anyway, I ended up calling out all my spots with largemouth. So.
I got you. What do you predict for this year? You think the same kind of setup scenario? You mentioned a little bit of warmer weather this year, but you pretty much think that we're going to be tied up to the bank, pre-spawn mode.
Yeah, if this, I mean, they're usually a week or two ahead of us in Kentucky, and the weather, what they're forecasting here for this weekend, and it's going to be warmer down there, and it's warmer today down there. I would say it's going to be pretty close to the same kind of conditions, and it depends a lot on what kind of rain we get. I have not looked at the water level down there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely in a river situation. The rain has a lot to do with what's going to happen, how it's going to play out.
I got you. So, well, Terry, I really appreciate you coming on our podcast. You've given a lot of insight for the Rough River. Before we let you go, I know you got a lot of people that support you, a lot of great family as well. Going through your social media, you have a great family, very, very supportive of your fishing career. So, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or a thank you before we let you go?
Well, one of the main things is I'm 72 years old. So I just thank the good Lord above for blessing me with the health to be able to go fish these tournaments. I haven't signed up for a Rough River tournament yet, but I got till tomorrow to do that. Every year I say I'm going to cut back on my tournaments, and I end up getting in more of them. I still have that competitive fishing in me. Not doing as good as I used to, but I still love it. So first of all, I want to thank Jesus Christ, my personal Savior, for the health to do this. Phoenix Boats, I've the last couple of years, I got a sponsorship with Phoenix. I've had Mercury. I've been with Mercury since I've ran Mercury since 1990. So I've been in a Mercury for years. So I have to thank Mercury. Honey Creek Tackle, which is basically my boat sponsor and takes care of all my tackle and electronics. They've it's an awesome tackle boat dealer, gun dealer here in the Indiana, central Indiana area. They've been real good. And Secret Lures, which is they're the maker of the Stupid Tube. And so them and my wife for supporting me and letting me run around fish as much as I do. Like I say, it takes if you're out there worried about your family life and your family where you're out there, it's not any fun. And I still do this for fun. Don't do it. I'm not a professional fisherman. You said I made the Bassmaster Classic. I qualified for the Bassmaster Classic through the amateur rank through the federation as the top 8. So I'm not a professional fisherman. I haven't done anything but fish for the last 16 years. I retired from my job 16 years ago. Or maybe 17 now. I don't know. But I fish a lot. But I really love it, enjoy it. I just thank all the, like I say, I'm probably forgetting one of my sponsors there. Also, Solar Butt Sunglasses. I've been with Solar Butt also for, since probably 1990. So he's been, one of my supporters for a long time. Actually, took a team fish with Gary Nesty, the owner of Solar Butt, for several years. We did quite well in the seniors. I know I don't look old enough to fish the seniors division, but I fished it for about 22 years now. So,
Good for you. So, well, Terry, you're a testament to what all tournament anglers should be. You've maybe not followed through with the professional aspect of it, but you felt you fished what you were comfortable with. That got you to the Bassmaster Classic. You've had a hell of a career. So, my hat's off to you for everything that you've accomplished and where you stand with, fishing competitively and just doing what it makes you happy, what makes you, have fun. So I really appreciate you coming on our podcast. For all the listeners out there, you've been talking to Mr. Terry McWilliams, again, a top 5 angler from the Hoosier Division tournament last year on the Rough River. So, Terry, best of luck to you this year. Best of luck to all the BFL anglers fishing the Hoosier Division. I believe that's going to be the first tournament of the year, so you guys are finally getting kicked off. Make sure before you go, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and then you see the banner scrolling across at the bottom. Make sure you click that link at the top of the description right below this video to enter into our $2,500 giveaway. Again, that lucky angler will be selected from Revital Outdoors at the end of the year. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, thank you for tuning into this podcast. Again, I'm Theron Asbury. Be safe out there. God bless, and we'll talk to everyone on the very next podcast.